Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Sarah's Table. Pew, 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 pew. I'm Sarah Moore. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm going to be your host for the evening and your game master and your favorite person. I'm going to remind you to drink some water because you probably haven't had any today, if you're like me at all. At that. It's like we're a PSA. Thank you, everyone, for just taking a moment and having some water. Refreshing. Today I have once again bamboozled a friend onto coming onto the stream and bringing his game with him. Yay! It is a theme. I feel like the theme for 2023 is just, I don't know. I feel like I'm just like tricking people.
I was looking for food crimes 2023.
Yeah, maybe the whole thing, the whole 2023 food crime. Maybe. I bet I could. Beginning. I bet I could figure out how to work that
food crime.
Oh my God, it absolutely is a food crime. Too much. So yeah, today we're gonna play Chew, and I'm gonna give you a quick synopsis that is actually written into the text, which hasn't been released yet because I stole it. Okay. Set in a world ravaged by a devastating bird flu pandemic, all poultry has been outlawed, and the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, once toothless, is now the most powerful law enforcement agency on the planet. On par with the United States military-industrial complex, in cooperation with the U.S. Dairy and Agriculture Administration and numerous other government agencies, from the CIA to the U.S. Secret Service, the FDA's Special Crimes Division is tasked with investigating the ever-expanding universe of food-based crime and to neutralize food-powered criminals and place them safely behind bars. And our two players today are going to be maybe good at that? Question mark?
TBD.
We don't know. I cannot say. Listen, I haven't played much with Pete, but I've played a lot with Damon, and I feel like he's just going to go off and do his own thing. So,
as you should.
Oh no!
As you
So okay, so just understanding that both of you are gonna just be tangent players, and okay, I've got it. Just gonna press
partners.
Tangent partners.
Yeah,
got it. All right. Okay, here we go. So before we get into the wildness that is Chew, I'm going to do a safety discussion because I think that is incredibly important, especially in a game like this that can get into pretty out there themes and can get maybe a little triggery.
You might even call them yucks and yums.
Yucks and yums. And we don't want to yuck anyone's yums, but we are going to identify the yucks. So here on
yums and yams. Saying it out loud, that's inspirational.
So
I don't know what yams would be yet, but it almost feels like it's a thing. Yucks, yums.
We're going to figure out what they are. Yams would be...
Wow, curveballs.
Yams would be maybe a surprise treat that you only get once in a while. Maybe. Or like something super nutritious that like you should include. Oh gosh.
We'll get there.
Okay.
Yes.
Thanks for going with us on this, everyone at home, as we stumble through our safety discussion. All right. So here on Sarah's Table, you will never find sexual violence, violence against children, or withholding food as punishment or starvation, which is a big one that would potentially come into play in a game that is very food-based. I don't think that we have anything else that is off limits, correct?
Correct.
Okay, no more yucks at the table. If we discover something, if we wander into territory that anyone is uncomfortable with for any reason, you can either physically throw up an X or you can message me privately and be like, hey, no thanks. Or you can send me a message in the chat where everyone can see. That way we can just sort of walk it back and go in a different direction. No questions asked. So because we have identified our yucks, are there any yums that you really want? Is there something that you would very much like to happen in this?
See, I have a spoiler, so I'm just trying to hold my tongue right now. But I think sweets, like layered sweets, maybe with topping on top and on the sides. Yeah, potentially.
Like a Nanaimo bar? Just like
exactly
stacks.
like that. Yes.
Good. I need you to know that like most of the games I run end up having cake in them. Often I'm not even the one that brings it up, but I think people come to Sarah's table and they're like, you know what would go good with this? Cake. And then it just ends up at my table. So I was like, we're going to lean into it today and there's going to be cake.
Yeah, Damon, what's your favorite cake?
Oh, boy.
Carrot came to mind. I'm like, do I really like carrot that much, though? More than I think. I always think I don't like it as much as I'm going to.
Yeah, I do tend to lean slightly savory when it comes to desserts anyways, with the exception of creme brulee, which I will cut someone to get my hands on. Yeah, I think carrot is a solid option for cake.
For me, lately, it's been banana. I think it's just because it's less available. Right? Not everyone offers you a slice of chocolate cake, but
sure.
Not everyone walks up and goes, would you like a slice of banana cake? Yes, please. I would love banana cake.
Right. Making a note. You want banana cake.
Yeah.
Some carrot cake options.
Yeah.
I feel like this just turned into like, what does everybody want to eat? Instead of what do we want in the game, which is all, hey.
As the primary cake person, we didn't ask you. What would be the first choice for cake?
I just really like all kinds of cake.
You just lay a shovel.
Yeah, I just like available cake is good. That's my favorite flavor. But I think so there is, if we're going like nostalgia top priority for me, my grandmother used to make a chocolate buttermilk cake. That was like, it's the best cake ever. And it's actually not terribly sweet as cake goes. But if there happens to be any of this cake left over like the next day, it like sort of compacts in itself and becomes like fudgy brownie. And it's like,
that sounds good. My grandmother did like an angel food situation with like a very heavy cherry topping. Because we would go, when I was young, we would go and we would pick cherries and then we'd spend like a full day like pitting them and canning them and all kinds of stuff. And she would make jams and sauces and it would go over this angel food cake and it would do the same thing where it would just like it like slowly
compresses it, right?
You can't really top angel food with
because it's anything on it.
There's nothing there. There's nothing there, but still it would be this like thick layer of cherry that would go on top and it would just like squish it and it would get kind of soggy. Really good though.
See, slow this conversation in because it's important because everyone knows so much about food and it makes for a great role-playing game experience when they get weird about it.
When everybody gets weird about food.
When your food power revolves around chocolate cake but has specific abilities thanks to the grandma's recipe.
Correct.
The chocolate buttermilk variety.
I think I might actually have all of the ingredients to make that. And I think maybe when we're done here, I might have to bake a cake. It's fine. It's fine. It's not weird, everyone who's watching at home. Actually, as we've talked about our food preferences and our grandmothers, apparently, let's go around and introduce ourselves and maybe like tell people why we're here. I'm going to start with Damon. Who are you?
Well, you just said my name is Damon. Hello, I'm Damon Vanhee. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a game designer and I enjoy being on Sarah's table. I'm here a lot, as you said.
Because I send you the time and the link, and then I just
click it. I just click it, and then I find myself at the table. And I just click it, and then I feel like I have to say, I have to speak my truth based on the past conversation, and I think I'm really more of a pie person.
Than that's cake. Fair.
And it's going to be key lime is very, very high on the list. It is a far and away winner. That's like, who I am.
It's not super It's not super sweet. It's more like tart.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like you are like a lemon pie also probably like sort of thing, like because you're not looking for that super sweet.
Yeah.
Because you're wrong.
Ooh,
all right, moving on. Pete.
All right.
I know. I kind of feel like I should have an answer for you. Like, what food am I? And this is why.
Yeah.
Let me compare to you a mango to my personality. But I'm Pete Petrusha. This is one of my new games. I run a company called Imagining Games. So I'm a RPG game publisher. I do some retail through conventions. And the developer of this project. We have a great team of people, but I kind of have my hands a little bit in everything. But yeah. So I do a lot of conventions, make a handful of games. Really happy last year we got a best rules nomination for something I designed. So I'm really happy to be here, especially on Gen Con TV. That's exciting. So
yay.
Thank you for having me, Sarah.
Thanks for clicking the thing.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Just like shh, just
I got some extra time. Click. Wonder what's going on over there.
I don't know what this is, and then you can't leave once you've clicked it. So I mean.
Yeah, I clicked got it. So
click the got it button. So I'm gonna have us dive in. We're gonna build.
Let's do it.
Our characters. And according to this delightful rulebook that I have in front of me, step 1 is choosing your approaches. I know that there is a possibility of being able to just like look at the list and choose. But I love a chart, and there's a chart that you can roll on. And I think we're going to do it because
it's perfect for right now because we
just love it.
Everyone doesn't have the list in front of them anyway. So
right. So you get to pick 3. So what you're going to end up doing is we're going to do, going to roll 2d6 and you're going to tell me what is on each of them. And we'll go back and forth. So, Damon, you first. Roll me 2d6 and tell me what numbers come up.
Oh, I rolled 2 4s.
44.
I feel so guilty now. I got to grab my dice.
This is wonderful. Interesting with lemons that we were just talking about. You got lemon head, which means that you are cynical. Wow. And you leave a sour. I feel
like I can play that.
Yeah, and you leave a sour taste in people's mouths.
Absolutely, I do. That really is just like my play style.
Just
already.
In general.
In general.
Perfect.
My IRL disposition.
All right, Pete, do you have your 2d6?
22.
22. You are a chicken. You're not proud. Chicken.
How literally should we interpret that?
I think you're still people.
All right. Fine.
I don't think Pete is going to play an actual chicken, but you know what? Fine. It is his choice. I don't know.
The big thing, Damon, is that like everything you do in the game, everyone can kind of read that you're a chicken. So if I try to be really brave and intimidating, the game still kind of rules that, but you're a chicken trying to be really brave and intimidating. So you're not quite, this is harder for you, or it's not as believable.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's going to be, your target is going to be higher success wise. All right. Next one, Damon.
64.
Tough cookie. You don't crumble easily.
I'm just building a curmudgeon at this point.
Yeah, you're just building. We're just building Damon, I think. Yeah.
It's pretty good.
65.
65.
You had to do better.
You are vanilla.
This is already so great.
Others call you normal. So you are a vanilla chicken currently.
I look very average. No one has expectations of me.
So average.
And if they know me, they're like, yeah, that dude's not a total coward.
He's going to do 0 things in this campaign.
I love that. Like, Damon, your character, whatever assignment we get, you're going to be like, oh, God, with that person?
Why though?
I'm totally the office warm body.
Does he actually work here? I don't.
When there's nobody else, they're like, well,
everyone else is out on assignment. We have to send the vanilla chicken. All right, last one, Damon.
All right. I just got a 65. Should we call it a 56?
We'll do a 56.
Instead? Let's do a 56.
Oh, no.
We'd both be really unassuming. That's kind of funny, though.
So you're
cuts to us.
Yeah, you're both just like.
We're just like regular people.
We're the other guys. Right? We're not like Nick Fury. What's Samuel L. Jackson in The Rock? We were like we're the other guys. The people they look like the superheroes. We don't. Yeah.
Boring blue suit. You are spicy.
There you go.
You burn with passion and have attitude for days.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm.
All right.
I feel like this is going to be a real stretch for me to have.
Sure. It's totally normal. All right, Pete, what's your last one?
And 32.
32.
Damon, what was your first one?
Lemonhead.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You are an egghead. You're a tried and true nerd.
This is incredible.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm clearly like one of the interns in the back that's like really good at looking stuff up. Yeah. But they're like, hey.
You're like the accountant. Like you're just like
deputized.
Really hey, we need another person. Head out.
Yes.
Your cubicle walls are just like 6 inches higher than everyone else's. So we just forget that you're back there.
Oh,
all right.
Geez.
So we've got our 3 attributes for each of you, or your 3 approaches. 3 approaches. Now we're going to pick a playbook. So this game uses playbooks as opposed to character classes, which means that like your playbook gives you some options that you can choose that are pretty specific to just your character. There's a couple of options here. We've got the expert, highly educated, respected in their field. Doesn't really feel like either of you.
I'm the tried and true nerd. It might be really fitting, but I don't know. I'll think.
Well, let's see. Maybe
maybe too typecast. I'm not sure yet.
The hotshot is a brash hero who stops at nothing to crack the case. The inspector is a shrewd detective and an inveterate professional. The lowlife is a scrappy crook who works outside the law. The mascot. Oh, all right. That feels more like.
Is it your character? Is that what it is? Yeah.
The mascot is an innocent soul who acts selflessly to support others. The prodigy is a talented newcomer with unprecedented potential. The veteran is an established leader with a wealth of experience, and the wronged is a troubled soul consumed by a dark past. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could have you pick what you wanted, or we could let the dice decide, and we could roll d8s because there are 8.
Mm-hmm.
What is screaming at you today, friends? Don't say your cats. I know your cats are screaming at you.
All the time, forever and ever.
But which of these?
Because of my approaches, and after we went through them, I really wanted to play the expert or the inspector anyway. But now I just have to be the expert because I have to be the accountant or something. Like,
you are highly educated, super respected in your particular field, which we're going to figure out what your field is. Don't know what it is yet. We're going to find it. And Damon, your spicy tough cookie lemon head.
I feel like either the prodigy or the veteran. I think both fit for different reasons. And could really go different directions. I get a quick question. How many quirks do we get? This might be the deciding factor for me.
I think only one.
1 quirk? Okay.
1 quirk.
I mean, they both look really cool. All right.
I mean, all of the characters are very cool. The options are all very cool.
Sarah, I would like you to roll for it.
Oh.
And I think an even is going to be the prodigy, and veteran's going to be odd.
Nice.
Okay.
I did high low.
I got a 2, so I got an even.
Even, so prodigy.
Prodigy.
The prodigy.
Talented newcomer with unprecedented potential.
I'm going to be jaded and unhappy to be here.
Great. That is absolutely the energy that I want you always bringing to my table, if possible. Just like always be like, I can't believe you did this to me again. Okay. So now we are going to pick 2 perks. So each playbook has some perk options listed on the front right side of that character sheet that you are now looking at. There's a helpful, if you're not sure which ones to choose, maybe do the first 2 because they are prioritized by how generally helpful that they are.
Great.
But like you can do whatever you want because we're telling a story together, and I know the person who wrote it is here, but the rules don't matter. Shh. Do whatever you want.
I've always wanted to have Space Cadet. It's the lowest one of my perks.
Do it.
It's the one where I use psychedelics.
Oh,
and that's pretty great.
Come on. When was the last time you even left your cubicle? Do you live there?
Well, we also mentioned I'm a coward. So the only reason I might be able to have the bravery and the guts to actually go anywhere is to just be
take a bunch of drugs and then you could go out.
Yeah. And I mean, if you're high enough, it is scary to leave that cubicle.
Yeah, like, that's true. Don't want to go
another
anywhere.
Color a foot away, and I can't. I can't.
That's the color that my feet sink through. Everyone knows that.
Oh, geez. Gosh. It's fun when you're playing, though, because, you know, all the time I like writing and like balancing things, but not staring at it like as a player and going like, but I really want this one. Like with the background you've already made for my character, I could have knowledge bomb where I literally just drop endless big words where I captivate everyone, either by just the sheer amount of words that I vomit and the specific nerdness of what I talk about that they can't look away for a time being.
Perhaps in horror, but still looking.
Exactly.
Right. Are you waffling between some? Damon, have you chosen yours?
I think I'm just gonna take the first 2. Take this the game suggested first 2.
Okay. Tell me what they are.
So the first is superior. I mark the cocky condition to dig in without expending appetite. And so long as I'm suffering from that condition, I gain effect to actions where the cocky condition applies. And then the second one is mental palace. When you dig in addition to any other effects, I get to choose either receiving a perfect mental map of my surroundings, or I know exactly what's about to happen, though the outcome remains fuzzy.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh, I could discover a second quirk, though.
Oh,
no.
Right. Low-hanging fruit there.
Oh, no.
Now you got, I'm like, in what order were those? But you said, so that's probably like the 3rd or 4th option then?
Third one is the discovering a second quirk.
I wonder if I thought about it that way too. I was like, yeah, but these are actually cool things. That one could be, another quirk could be trivial. It's really awesome, but it can be trivial because they're so oddly specific, as you'll see. I'm going to go artful. So that's my top one. When you dig in addition to any other benefits, choose one. Your performance is so moving, it stirs even the heaviest of hearts to tears or laughter. Ooh. Or you craft, cook, or create with impossible speed and precision. So it's always like an extra choice on top of success. Knowledge bomb's great, but I already kind of said I really wanted Space Cadet. So I'm going to take Space Cadet. I have psychedelics in my gear, and at any time I can make an action roll to trip balls and meditate on a pernicious question without concern for such trivial notions as logic or causality. On a success, the GM will provide me with something approaching an answer.
Something. It'll be something.
Yeah.
There will absolutely be.
It is answer adjacent.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's a lead.
Have you all seen Young Sherlock Holmes?
No. Is that the Enola or is it actually young Sherlock?
No, like the Young Sherlock Holmes is from the, I don't know, they made it in like late 80s, early 90s, something like that. But there is a scene where one of the characters is like on drugs and there's a bunch of food that is, it ends up being claymation and it's like forcing itself into his mouth. It like is like force feeding him with it. And like, that is what my brain went to immediately when it was like something approaching an answer. And I was like, oh, it's just like you took a bunch of drugs and you saw, and you were like, the donuts are trying to get me to eat them. Anyway, I don't know if any of you at home have seen that movie, or maybe it was a fever dream and I made it up. You can tell me in the chat.
Like I did watch that when I was younger. I just don't remember so much of it anymore.
See, I don't even know if it's possible to get that anymore and see it again. This is a side quest that I'm taking one day. There's also a little option if you want to do a very long series of game sessions. You could start with only one perk and say that you are like rookies or high schoolers, young folk. But we're not going to do that. We're going to load up. Step 4. Pew, pew, pew. Check your gear. You wouldn't want to leave the house without your badge and gun. Each playbook have 5 pieces of literal and metaphorical equipment. So let's take a look at what you've got and address any questions that you might have for each.
I thought my editor was going to be like, you can't say a 5-piece of something. Like, that's not actually how you talk about something. I'm like, it is when it's a bucket of chicken.
It is a 5-piece of chicken, I assume.
Yeah.
I mean, not chicken. Chickens. We shouldn't have chicken. Isn't it chicken outlawed or something?
It is.
It's a problem. We can't. Nobody eats chicken here.
Yeah.
It's bad.
You could get sick and die. Or worse, you could get someone else sick and die.
Right. Something's going to happen. All right, let's talk about your 5 pieces.
And mine is loading, but when it pops up,
it looks
like I have tools of the trade. Anything you need to practice your craft. As you can tell, the expert's meant to be like, you get to kind of talk about, is your craft accounting? Is it, acting? Is it whatever? I have now, can I use the GD word or is that limited?
Oh, we should probably not.
Okay. I have a GD PhD.
Oh.
From the accredited university of my choice. I have a portable lab, an FTA motor pool van fueled and fully equipped. I have a satellite link guaranteeing that I'm never offline, and I have tenure. So with the faction of my choice, I have tenure. Yeah.
Wow, that is very useful. Now, where on the character sheet are those?
You go to the second page on the top left.
Got it. All right.
It's the one really crucial thing on the back page.
All right. So heading on over to the Prodigy. Damon, can you see the second page?
I cannot.
Do you want me to read it for you?
Yeah. What's my 5-piece?
You got, I'll drop them first, right? You got a crime solving kit. That includes a mixtape, magnifying glass, corn nuts, and it says, etc. You got awards and trophies because, just to prove that you're the smartest.
Sure.
You have a gaming laptop. It runs so hot, you could fry an egg on the keyboard. You have a NutriKick. That's an affordable, nutrient-rich and 1,000 milligrams of caffeine. I feel like, I was like, but it doesn't say what it is. It says enough. It's affordable. It's nutrient rich and has 1,000 milligrams of caffeine.
That's all you need.
And you have a fake ID just in case you're one of the minors working for the FDA. According to the law, there are things you can't do until now.
Hello.
that's all liberal stuff too. Like, so fake ID, we think of like to buy beer, but it could be like a driver's license or, passport or whatever. Semi truck credential. What do you call those? Yeah.
Your CDL.
CDL, commercial driving license. Yeah.
You got a forged top secret badge or something.
I hope it's made out of crayons. Just scribble it. It's very Doctor Who of just like, these are my credentials. Yeah. Or like Ron Swanson's just like, I do what I want. This is it. Great. Are there any questions on any of those gear? Do we need to trick out any of them?
I think I got it.
How's your truck, Pete? Like, is it, did you give your truck a name? Like, is it
I think because like the character we've already talked about, like it's not, it's on my sheet. It's just that like, I literally like, I'm probably the person when it needs to be filled. They're like, hey, you go, I'm like the person they send to go put the gas in.
Oh, because, sure.
The special crimes agents can't be, busied with things like that. Right.
That's beneath them.
Yeah. So it's got nothing that says it's mine. Like it's 100% like sterile, very cookie cutter, FDA on the side. The lab isn't actually like accredited for me. I just know how to use it.
Sure. Are there any like special snacks that you put in there thinking they might no snacks for them?
But they're probably like every time I go in, I probably bring like the proper amount of like face masks, hand gloves, Windex.
Sure. All of this stuff that like you should have.
Yeah.
But nothing to like make you more comfortable.
Yeah. I might even, because I do that so that I have to clean less and then so that I can clean it before I leave, because otherwise they'll make me come back and clean it later. So,
do it. Yeah. That sounds terrible. We don't want to do that.
I'm one of the eggheads in the back, So what it is.
All right. Step 5 is picking a job. So what does your playbook look like in everyday life? Are you an undercover agent infiltrating Montero Industries? Are you a hot dog cart vendor selling a mean weenie? Stoned out NASA researcher? Maybe a relentless crusader of the neighborhood watch? There are a couple of categories. You could be in the federal agents. You could be municipal. You could be civilian experts. Could be criminals. Could be something else. Something else, the biggest category. Just a lot of options down there.
A lot of options there.
Yeah.
Do we want to roll for this also? Roll for a category and then go from there?
We could, yeah. I could D6 you. Yeah. Yeah. Hit me with a D6, Damon.
Doing it. I got a 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're something else. Here are the things that are written here. A weird space kid. A North Korean general. A vampire. Just kidding. Vampires aren't real. A dead guy. A cockfighting rooster. You could be French.
That's your job, is French.
French. Savory space alien. Amazon necromantic death cultist, a noted food pornographer, a pos transformer, a reviver, Zandu Wei warrior chef. Any of those jumping out at you, buddy?
It makes my day so much to hear somebody read that out loud.
You're welcome.
And I'm choosing from that list or something.
Or making it up something adjacent to that list or from that list.
So great.
Except for a vampire, because just kidding, vampires aren't real.
I mean, you can be a vampire poser.
A vampire.
Yeah.
In quotes.
I think I want to be lab grown.
Oh, nice.
All right.
I think That's my job. Is being
grown in a lab.
Being lab grown, and then dealing with whatever that means.
Great.
Like, you literally could be like lab grown chicken as an alternative. Like if it was like in-house trying to like theorize what like alternative lab grown chicken were going to be made by corporations, but like you somehow were sentient.
They like accidentally made a person. They were like, ooh, we sequenced this wrong.
Yeah.
Now it's a person.
I'm just like a nugget. Like
just little.
Just like a mass of that chicken sludge that they
but person shaped.
But person shaped, yeah. Got it. Yeah. And then cool. and then probably like seared off to make skin. It's a good sear.
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. It's
golden.
It holds up.
Yeah.
To close scrutiny.
Yeah. But like it always smells a little bit like cooking meat around you, maybe just like a little.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
The best part too is there's actually people who look like food. So you have an alibi where you're weird, but you're not the weirdest thing anybody's ever seen.
Not the weirdest.
Just think you're the people that have that food power where they look like the food they eat. So people are going to talk to you about being, this Broma Latour or whatever. And you're like, yeah, I get it all the time. No, I'm actually a nugget.
Actually a nugget.
And that's probably why you're so cynical. Everyone thinks they know you.
And so that tracks then, because my fake ID can be it just says like
you're not a person.
It's just like person.
Human on it. Person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I really wish the picture was totally somebody else. It's like a nugget.
Yeah, it just says person on it, and there's a picture of someone who is not me. But if I flash it fast enough, nobody notices. And if anyone ever questions it, I can just get really insulted over them asking whether or not I am a person.
Yeah, how dare you? How dare you ask me that?
And then I could just dead-eye them for a little while until they go away.
Yeah.
I really like this character.
All right, Pete. I'm guessing you're probably a federal agent.
Literally, I was like, wow, I didn't realize that FDA egghead parentheses intern was not going to be specific enough for a character player need. Because I'm like, that's that. But I still gotta figure out what kind of expert I am. So, but yes. But I'm definitely an FDA egghead, right? I'm an intern. I'm one of those people that compiles your brief and you call and you're like, yeah, I need this. And we can't, you shouldn't have to figure out everyone that works at the Culinary Network. That's what they pay us for.
Right.
So
that's your job.
Yeah.
So what is your area of expertise? I mean, I know you're great with paperwork and with numbers, like obviously, but like what is there a niche?
I'm leaning towards that finance thing because I'm vanilla, right? Yeah. Adding the vanilla part, it's not weird. Like I'm literally like, hey, you call. I wanted to throw a name on my character that I don't have yet. I'm like, whether it's Maurice or so Maurice for the moment. So it's like, oh, you need to figure out.
Also French.
You need to know like actually what the answer that. Yeah, we send it to Maurice. Maurice does all the math. Like, but yeah, so I guess I'm really just one of the finance people, but I'm probably, because I'm an intern, I'm probably like the person that everyone abuses for finances, but I'm not actually the high ranking financial person.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We wouldn't want to give you any real power before we go on this mission.
If anything, they give me the shit jobs in addition to it to make sure that I don't get cocky. So,
that's not your job. You are not supposed to be cocky.
Yeah. Little did they know I'm a coward, so I'm never really going to get there anyway. Yeah,
it's not a problem.
Yeah.
So it does say that listing a short work history isn't necessary, but could fuel future flashbacks and potential connections later on. So I would love to have just like a little bit more in depth. Like, how did you get to the current job that you are in now? Let's have that be what it is. Like, how did Maurice get this internship?
MIT grad.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
So
actually maybe even adjunct professor because I have tenure. So I can be adjunct.
Yeah.
I'm actually an MIT like mathematician that like went into finance because I didn't make enough money or something. And then I didn't have a choice. They just like I helped them one time as a contractor, and then they just enlisted me and put me in the back.
Okay.
Because the FDA can do stuff like that.
So you don't teach anymore?
Yeah, I maybe remotely.
Got it.
no.
From the cubicle, just like I gotta just do a lecture.
Hey, Maurice, you gotta go load the car. I'm in class right now. Load the car. Yeah.
All right, everybody, go turn to page 326. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
All right, and chicken nugget.
Mm-hmm.
How did you get your current job?
I think it was just. I mean, it's within the FDA that they do the food production itself. Correct. It's still essentially the same government agency. It's all government grown.
They just ended up just like they grew a worker.
When I happened, they shifted me over.
You could have been a part of like the food weapons program. I mean, like think about like if the Food and Drug Administration got like all the government money, like they're just like here's all the money.
Yeah, I like a weapons program trying to weaponize nuggets in some fashion.
Weaponized nuggets is the name of this episode.
And I think since I was human shaped when they did it, globular shaped.
Like it wasn't on purpose. Like you just
total accident. Totally. I came out the extruder,
like Kool-Aid Man style, and
yeah. Like when you pick up a nacho and it's like stuck to all the other nachos, it still counts as one nacho.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's what happened to me, and so they just gave me an ID and shifted me in departments with some paperwork. And I think now that we have gotten this far, I am going to switch around my perks a little bit. I think I'm going to drop the superior. That's the one about being super cocky. And I am going to pick up exceptional, which gives me a second quirk. So the quirks that I'm going to go with Voyant, which is when I eat something, I receive psychic impressions from its future. So they created a clairvoyant meat pile.
Which is your name, I assume?
No, my name, I actually, I have a name already. My name is Hugh, and then my last name is Manreal. So it's Hugh Manreal. And then my second quirk.
Don't skip ahead. Skip ahead.
I thought I missed it already, and I was going back. All right, never mind.
We're not there yet.
Picking two quirks.
Stop.
I got excited.
Thank you. I know, and I love it. So I do have one more quick question about Hugh. So like, how old are you actually, and how old do you present in people years?
In people years. I think in people years, I am 7.
If you're older than like 5, you would be kind of before the FDA had big bucks.
Let's go 4 then.
Yeah,
4. Let's go. Yeah, let's do 4. And it's from the early days of them being inundated with so much cash they didn't know what to do with it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so but how old do you present?
I think I present as like a precocious 15.
So still like a child, but not a 4-year-old child.
Correct. And I think I am grumpy and curmudgeonly enough that it's rarely challenged.
All right. Well, this is great because you've only had 4 years of how do people act.
I probably watch a lot of television.
Oh no! Oh no!
to figure that out.
Super duper. All right. So let's move on to assigning our attribute stars. So you get each playbook has 1 star already assigned to their favorite attribute, and then you get 3 more stars to put into your approaches. Oh, I'm sorry. To take inspiration from your approaches, and no more than 2 stars can be in any attribute to start. So we've got 4 attributes: charm, guts, instinct, and training. Where are your given stars already on your playbook?
I got 1 in training to start with.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about recalling information, acting with discipline and precision. I feel like Maurice is maybe takes that discipline and precision maybe a little too far.
Yeah, right. For sure. Yeah, and we know my guts has got to be low, if anything. And my instincts can't be good because I put up with all this shit.
Yeah.
And then there's my charm, which, I mean, I guess maybe I'll put I'm going to have to put stars in something.
You got to put stars in something, friend. And it can't be over 2.
Yeah. So the 2 in training is obvious.
Put it all into training and be like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah, so I might just be like 1 across the rest, more evenly distributed. So no more than 1 star, 3 more. So 3 including the 1. So I gotta put 1 and 2 more things. I guess I could have like a 1 and guts, especially because I'm an egghead too. So the stereotypical vanilla egghead would have no guts.
No guts.
So I guess I'm 1 in charm and 1 instinct.
All right.
Yeah, but
how many points do we get to add?
You get 3, and you cannot go above a 2 in any of them. So, I mean, you could just put 1 in whatever yours that has the 1 in it, and then you could just put 2 in another one and have 0s in the other ones, if you want. 0s across the board. Nothing. I have no attributes.
And so just in case it wasn't mentioned, so this is how many dice you're going to roll when you go to do stuff is based on which attribute you use. So if you have 2, you have 2 dice. But if you have none, you roll 2 dice and take the lower one.
Yeah,
so you still can do it. You just
rolling at disadvantage.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then you're looking for the highest number, and different things happen with different numbers that you roll. Higher is better. This isn't golf. Want to go high? So Maurice, well, I mean, we'll decide if he's actually Maurice.
I'm going with Maury.
Maury?
Yeah. Just like the show, right? So
yep.
I went Maury Dillweed.
Oh, buddy.
Perfect.
I was like, my character's too vanilla to have food in the name because everyone important has food, some kind of food reference in their name. But then I thought that was my important feature is that I'm a dillweed. So
yeah. Oh. You two are quite the pair. So you have 2 in training and 1 in instinct and 1 in charm?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. And what about Hugh? Our sentient
nugget. I really want to know, like, if I poke you, do you bleed pink ooze?
Yeah, here's the thing. I have so many questions about this. Like, is there a regenerative property? Like, do you have to sleep in something to make? Because, like,
a toaster,
animals like a pod.
Yeah,
like a vat. I think. Yeah, probably. I need something.
Instead of showers, you get breaded daily.
Right. It's been 4 years, right? Like, I feel like there would be like a degeneration.
It's like, probably a really
things would
like
eat you.
I think there's either a vat that I can pop into from time to time to get that glow back.
Sure.
Or we're dealing with some sort of a mummy situation where it's just like dried out to this point where like I'm kind of jerky preserved.
People just follow you around with like ranch dressing, like barbecue sauce.
Yeah, like that's great.
I think I like the vat situation.
Oh gosh,
like a bit of a regrow. Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like
parts fall off or like
get bitten off. Like, I feel like maybe one of your first missions, you like, dang, you lost a whole leg. It was a problem. Like, just.
Yeah. As time goes on, I probably get better at not losing limbs.
Sure.
It was probably a pretty aggressive learning curve.
Yeah.
When I was much younger.
Yeah.
In like
last
6
year.
months, 6 months to a year range was probably pretty clumsy for me.
Yeah.
I think
I can't wait to see like I want your character in like a dozen playtests because I'm thinking of all the combinations of people and players. Like, what about if somebody had a food power where they need chicken nuggets? So that like they partner with you guys, just take a bite when they need it. Like you're always available.
Just like stick my finger.
Like finger,
yeah, just chop a little bit off.
Combo abilities with the nugget.
There's definitely a note in his file not to ever pair him with one of the drug sniffing dogs because just chops on him the whole time.
I mean, it's already bad enough. Like if you outlawed all chicken, but everyone remembers chicken nuggets from like 2 years ago. I mean, like you have to coach yourself with like perfume or all kinds of stuff to like make it so
like chicken.
Everywhere you go, people would be like,
okay, so I think I'm going to carry around like a fistful of like
mice following you around.
Like pine tree,
like
from inside of a car. So I probably have like new car smell all the time, or pine. I think I alternate between the two of those. Depending on what day of the week it is. Like pine might be my going out on the weekend smell. and then going to work is like new car smell.
Right.
Just like 20 of them in my pocket.
I really wish that you had like a solid human neck so you could wear it like a gold chain. Like
you absolutely can. Yeah.
Just a pine tree,
Yeah. I'm seared off. I've got some, I've got some resistance to the exterior. Well, I picked my attributes also.
Tell me about your attributes.
So I had one in instinct as a given.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna leave it at 1.
Okay.
And then I'm putting 1 in guts.
Okay.
And then I'm putting 2 in charm, but I'm not going to use it the way you think I'm going to use it. It's not because
I assume
charming.
You're going to use it for evil. That's what I assume.
Because charm is, your ability to influence others and a measure of your personality. It's not necessarily like a cool thing. It's not. This isn't a suave persuasion situation. This is a.
You smell like nuggets.
A stare down and outlast the weird nugget guy.
Weird nugget man.
Yeah. So I got 2 in charm, 1
I'm
in
also
guts,
interested in like like what are a nugget's emotions?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have emotions?
Yes, I do.
Do you have emotions?
I do have emotions. I am learning how emotions be over time from various television shows that I've watched. And so I assume my reactions tend to be extreme and brief.
Great.
With maybe not a lot of lead up.
Okay, cool. I'm sure that Maury will know exactly how to deal with all of that. Okay, cool. Let's choose your quirk. Quirks are oddly specific food powers, privileges, or out-of-this-world abilities that set a character apart from nearly every other man, woman, or rooster on the planet. All right. You each start with 1 quirk. However, Hugh has a second because he's a chicken nugget and they operate. I'm an exceptional nugget. Yeah. All right. So.
Don't mind me. I'm just looking through them all. Like, what's perfect for Maury?
There's a lot of them. Man, there's so many, and they're all really fun. And like, you can take I suppose you could take a non-food power quirk if you wanted. There are some, like celebrity or cyborg or really, really badass. Could take that as well.
You kind of actually stumbled on what we were calling chog which was kind of like lab grown sort of experiments. That's really, I cut it out of the first book to make it the equivalent of Cyborg, but in the second book, it was like, so it's funny when you touched on all that. I was like, wow, yeah, that all actually, I like feel like I pushed back on that idea a little bit because we had Cyborg. Like the first thing you do, and I'm like, I guess they were right. That was a good idea.
Listen,
lab grown chicken nugget for the win.
We will find a way to break your game immediately, right out the gate.
You're making it better already. Yeah,
that's what you were looking for. We will find and just wiggle our little fingers in there like otters and tear it open.
Smash it over our favorite rock.
Yeah.
All right. I've got my quirks.
All right. Picked. Tell me your quirks.
They were easy to pick. Okay. So, Sibovoyant is my first one. So when I eat something, I receive a psychic impression from its future.
Oh.
So I assume that means I shouldn't eat all of it, because then that's just, it's not much of a future left for that food.
Mm-hmm.
Or something. It is
or whatever you are putting in your mouth. Yeah. Do you have to eat chicken nugget?
Of course, I am a human. I am a regular person doing regular person things.
Right.
I'm a regular person doing regular person things.
I think I probably put food into me and then later
take it out.
Need to get it out.
Okay, well, I guess that's also technically what real humans do. So
yes.
All right, great. And your other one?
I'm going to take the Gelimultiplicator.
Okay.
Whenever I eat gelatin, I can multiply myself into little gelatin versions.
You just turn into a bunch of little chicken nuggets.
Yeah, and so my question here is
the whole new look of what is gelatin. What is this chicken nugget made of?
So if I'm carrying around little gummy bears with me and I eat a little gummy bear, do I turn into a swarm or do I exude a swarm off of me? Or do I have the option
to just fall to a pile of
Army Dead style
just
Army of Darkness
man. Or is it you stay in the shape but you are a bunch of those and then they can scurry off as you need them to?
Mm-hmm. I just think it's going to be cool to
these are
separate
the
my
important
body
questions,
into
Pete.
component nuggets.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, those are the two that I'm taking.
Wonderful.
I'm going to tell the future and turn into weird blobs.
Okay. Love it. All right, Pete.
I'm sorry. There's just so many awesome ones. As I look, and then I'm the ones that I could just spit off that would make people crack up at home. I'm just I'm
of them.
Torn between. I was kind of. There's just so many. I think it'd be funny to be. I'm going to be a serenumity. Your world slows as drinking tea increases your reaction time, but you speak in simple, profound mutterings after.
Yeah. I like that.
So you'll either think I'm high or that I was drinking tea.
It's both. Could be both.
Doubling up on it.
You're working on those thoughts.
Depends on the tea.
I was leaning towards the one that was the I turn into a tree.
That's
you
also
transform
good.
into an immobile sapient tree or wooden object when eating starchy vegetables, because it seemed kind of funny. Because what would I be good for? It would be a sandbag or something. A chair.
Yeah, you could just turn into a chair, which is why no one in the office realizes
you're there
when you're around.
Or it's another perk of being my boss. Hey, you chair now.
I need to sit. Or counterpoint. Perhaps you think you have that quirk and you're just high. And so sometimes you'll be walking through the office and you'll see Maury in the corner, just not moving with his hands up, just quietly muttering things to himself about I don't know. He either drank some tea earlier or he thinks he's a tree.
Or he thinks he's a tree. Yeah. All right.
Great. All right. Let's claim a name and a look. Now that you know so much about your character, let's give that special someone a tasty name and a comic-worthy look. All right. So consider your favorite foods, your food power, food brands for inspiration.
Yeah, so we know I'm going to be Maury Dillweed.
Maury Dillweed.
We know I'm vanilla, so my look is going to be like business casual. I wonder if there'd be anything I'd add to it. I got to have like the butt cut. Like, it's got to be
sure.
Straight, short. I mean, a little bit mushroom, like the hair's a little too long, but still short. So just kind of,
Like you maybe should have gone and gotten a haircut.
I was like, I probably look like Dwight from The Office. That's probably what I look like.
Perfect. Yeah. I mean, I think Dwight sometimes thinks he's a tree, so I think we're good.
That's true. Yeah, I can be really tall. Yeah. So just, yeah.
Great. And what about Maury's pronouns?
I'm going to stick with he, him.
Okay. Now, Hugh, what are your pronouns?
Sorry, you could really go out there right now.
I think that I will stick with what is on my ID.
What is on your ID?
And I think on my ID it says he, him.
Okay. Has it always said he, him?
That is the ID that they handed me.
The first one 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still have it.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to get deep with it, right? You could explore that because you're like, what are pronouns? Oh, because
now
you don't really know the emotional
like when
thing?
you get to the emotions, we can
mine says he, him.
I am this.
I am human, real person.
When did you start wearing clothes?
I think I probably spent a few months without clothes.
Sure.
Because that was a lot of time like figuring out how to move my mass around.
Yeah.
But I think I enjoy clothes.
Sure.
And things. I probably enjoy like material stuff. I probably taste most of it.
What kind of clothing tastes best to you that you would like to put on your body?
I'm probably going to regret this. Denim. I think denim is really good. So I've probably got a cool denim jacket that's got it's maybe got some patches on it. And I'll have I have like a crime solving kit and everything like that. So I probably have like a rucksack to carry all of those things in.
I was just looking here at the looks, and one of the options is a wedding dress. So just tossing that out there.
For the chicken nugget.
For the chicken nugget.
I think I have spent enough time lying to people about who I am that I've picked a look that I think is sort of in the middle to go kid or adult.
Got it.
So, if I am carrying a skateboard, I am a hooligan youth. But if I put it down, I am an adult.
I see. Do you have hair?
Oh, it's a good question.
I've been thinking about your feet this whole time. I'm like, are they like rounded out like a gingerbread man? Or did you like work with the team to help like remold your feet so they were more practical? Are they just burnt on the bottom? So it's like calloused feet. That's how you don't need no shoes? Because shoes just would come right off, right? Unless you got the hook part,
Yeah. That's an interesting question. It could be like elephant feet, just like broad.
And like, flat on the bottom?
Yeah, broad and flat.
They're sauce cups because they thought it was funny.
I think I
Amazing.
have
Probably
I
at
have,
first, and then you were like, I am a real man.
yeah. I think I have custom orthotics. My shoes are probably a bit bigger
Mm.
than they look like they maybe should be, and that's because I'm just like jamming into them. And
Uh-huh.
then if I am wearing shoes, I get that foot look with
Oh.
my leg. Um, but without them, it's probably a little sloppier.
Yeah, there could be a Gumby situation. You could just slide everywhere.
Wow.
Shout out
Great.
to Gumby. Yeah, I don't know.
I do love a Gumby. Do love
Yeah.
Gumby. Wow. Okay. Great. Oh, we didn't answer if you have hair. Do you have
Oh,
hair?
yeah.
Um, I do not. I do not have hair.
No hair.
No hair.
You know, it could be part of the weird things you do. You just go around like collect it from like victims or victims.
Oh, I probably
Making
have
eyebrows.
wigs.
Drawing
Some
eyebrows.
days I have wigs.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah.
I probably have a lot of wigs that I trade out because I think I maybe like hair conceptually.
Mm.
But
You like
I've
the
tried
idea
to
of
like
hair.
form it a little bit, and it's just like no, like I can kind of part my head a little by like creasing down my, but it just doesn't
Yeah.
do the same as
Sure.
as
So you
real
would
hair.
need wigs, yeah.
So I need wigs, and they're probably really ostentatious.
Like drag queen wigs.
I probably got a bunch. I probably have like business wigs, drag wigs, like club wigs,
Party wigs.
party wigs. I think Hugh feels strongly that there's a wig for every situation.
Oh, good. Good. I love it.
Nice.
Probably watched a lot of Golden Girls
Yeah.
and Designing Women.
Designing
Yeah.
Like you said, you watch a lot of TV.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Hmm. Okay, great. So we have a couple more steps, but we have been going for a bit. And so I'm going to have us take a quick bio break so that people at home can go get themselves some chicken nuggets because we have talked about them enough that I really
Slice of
feel
cake.
like
Yeah.
get some cake,
Mhm.
get some nuggets,
Mhm.
get yourself something to drink, and then meet us back here in a couple of minutes. Okay, bye. Well, welcome back from the break. Did you love your chicken nuggets? Actually, I don't know. That's like has a whole different context, I think.
Yeah. Hey, it kind of talks about that whole thing of like cannibalism.
Yeah.
Because like if a chicken nugget eats a chicken nugget.
Well, and here's a question. If I nibble a little bit off of myself,
can you find your own future? No. I think that probably was a loop that you were stuck in for 2-3 months. Just like nibbling and seeing. And they finally were like, Hugh, you gotta stop. Like they sent you to like the in-house therapist. And we're like, tell me why. Like you have to stop. It's not healthy for you.
Yeah.
Speaking of not healthy for you, we're going to finish out character creation by finding out what sort of trouble each of your characters are in. And there are 6 kinds, and it's another table. And I feel like we should have you each roll a d6 to determine what type that you have.
Just 1d6?
Just 1d6.
What type do I have?
I rolled a 6.
Hugh, you have a vice.
Oh.
So there are some examples that you can choose from, or we can make up your own. But here is what is in the chart. You are glued to dating apps. It's finger licking good. Late nights with Layman's own whiskey. Food pornography. Licking chogs and tripping balls. Which is funny because you're a chog.
Chogs, by the way, they're like chicken frogs. So people in the world start genetically creating alternative forms of chicken. So that like they spliced chicken DNA with frog DNA and they created chogs.
Chogs.
Yeah.
Perfect.
McBeefy's number 5, but the service is shit. Cheapo Depot sales. Thin-X energy drinks. What is your vice as a sentient, very large nugget?
I think I'm going to go with the Cheapo Depot sales.
Cheapo Depot sales.
I think any time there is a bargain, he was interested in both spending less and getting more. So
is Hugh a coupon clipper?
Yes. That was a very easy yes.
Yes. You got very excited about that. Yeah, you're like,
I've probably got like a coupon tracking app, which will let me know, if there's ever like a double coupon day at the various places. This is probably like a third-party app. I don't think the stores themselves are. No,
it's like a tracker, like a coupon tracker app. Yeah.
There's definitely like a Discord of fellow clippers.
Sure.
Someone has put together this coupon app.
Cool. It's like you and like a bunch of old women named Cheryl that are like yeah, perfect. Give me a D6, Pete. Let's see what
I got. A 4.
You have a rivalry.
Yeah. I looking at that list, thought I knew which one I wanted, and then I found one even better in that list, which was the U.S. Navy doesn't believe I'm man enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
your rival is the entire U.S. Navy.
I secretly want to be a part of the U.S. Navy. Oh. Like this whole time, all I've ever wanted to be was a seaman, but I wasn't man enough. So yeah.
Not man enough to be a seaman.
Do you get seasick?
I just think it because I'm vanilla and I'm a chicken and I'm an egghead. Like I'm just totally like for all the 80s tropes of why a nerd should never be a jock. That's my problem. Yeah.
Also, the ocean is very scary.
It's very big and it's hard.
It's very big.
Like, you can't see the bottom of it.
Bad.
So all these things you mentioned probably are in addition to like if it actually ever happened, I would then leave. Like if they let me do it, I would be like, I don't. This is not.
But they haven't. But you can. It's their fault, clearly. Still.
Yeah. So the rivalry is literally got to be like I want it so bad, but it doesn't matter who I talk to. If they're a member of the Navy, for some reason they have a way of being like, yeah, you're just not man enough.
It's just not like not going to measure up. I like
to think that you just like apply every year, like when you're
go
just
to the
like
recruiter's office. Yeah.
Like you obviously have a calendar reminder that's like it's time to go in again and apply. I like that the first option on the list for rivalry is accidentally shot Derek Jeter. So, just in case.
The thing that I like about that is it doesn't specify who the rivalry is with. It could
New York City.
Derek Jeter, could be a fan, could be,
Yeah.
If it's the famous baseball player, right? The whole city hates you.
Could be the whole
for
city.
benching them. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Hey, that's the guy that accidentally shot Derek Jeter. Yeah. Because you got off, right? You didn't
Couldn't
get
even do
manslaughter.
that, right?
Yeah.
Whoops. All right. And then we're going to add some connections. Player characters work for organizations they may not like, have troubling contacts, and hear a lot of gossip about coworkers. So here we're going to build some baggage for our player characters to carry into the Tooniverse. Let's tie you together and insert some factions of interest and create interesting conversations. So let's answer the following 2 questions.
They're weird fill in the blank sort of questions.
Yeah, they're weird fill in the blank sort of questions. And you are going to look at the other player's character sheet. Choose an approach of theirs to use as inspiration to create the gossip.
Yeah.
So, Pete, because you have done this before, I'm going to have you go first.
Sure.
So the first one is, everyone talks in our line of work.
And I look at your character and I go, you have spicy lemon head and you're a tough cookie, tough nugget.
Tough nugget.
Is okay. So, yeah, I'm going to pull from the one I liked earlier, which I think because your inspiration is you're a tough cookie. So, everyone talks in our line of work that it probably should be named and approached as I look at it. I think some of them work better the opposite. That human real is a tough cookie is actually pink gelatin inside. So it just means like office talk. Everyone thinks that you're actually just pink goo inside. But we say gelatin because some of us have seen your powers. So
yeah. And now, Damon, we're going to have you do the same thing. You're going to be checking out Maury's sheet.
I got chicken, vanilla, and egghead.
Okay.
So because of those, what does someone say about, what do the people talk about me behind my back?
I think the gossip is that you really wish people were talking about you behind your back. And you're just always kind of like trying to start your own rumors, and everyone is like, Maury, no.
I'm so vanilla that no one actually talks about me behind my back.
Oh my God.
I have a complex.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
all right. Great.
This is so much fun.
So vanilla.
Okay.
No one talks about me.
Maury, what faction do you work for or have worked for or just can't stand? The example, I have to tell you, the example in the book is Stabby's food truck. I quit and he stabbed me. Is the example.
I mean, I don't know why you're surprised.
Yeah.
I know in my case, clearly I already mentioned the Navy. So the Navy gets introduced, not because I've worked for them. It's because of who I'd like to work for. I'm like, but if only I could be a part of the U.S. Navy. I just want to be if I could be out in sea with the real men, then they'd see me.
Do you have like one of those like hot men of the Navy calendars like in your cubicle?
I think it'd be funny if I did, and I don't think it's weird.
No.
Yeah, because like everyone else is like, okay, well, like. And not like, I shouldn't say weird, right? I don't really look at it like it's clearly made to be like an attractive piece of like.
Right, it's not like a beefcake for you. It's like.
Yeah. Like you bought it because it's the Navy.
Yeah. So like you go to my cube.
Useful calendar.
Yeah, and if I bring it up, I'm like these fellas in the Navy. And people are like, what are you trying to, what is.
Like that dude is definitely not in the Navy, Maury. That is not. Like he's wearing the hat. I don't.
So it's
why
worth
else
mentioning
would he be wearing the hat?
The U.S. Navy in Chew is only men, and they're all in Popeye outfits. Like they literally all have the Popeye outfit, but a lot of them have like midriff shirts and stuff. So it's just funny that like that's like it's like a uniform, like a cartoon of what they look like. They all got like the rope around their neck and the little hat like Popeye, even though it's the modern Navy, or they have an ascot like scarf thing, so. So yeah, perfect. So those people would be like super hot, like Magic Mike, but like, wearing Popeye outfits.
All right. Well, I know that you, Hugh, haven't been around for a super long time. Did you ever do like did you work for anybody else before you landed in your current place? Like,
I did. I think there was a brief stint where the folks that grew me thought it might be best to just see what happens with me, like out in the populace.
Yeah.
And I think that for a bit I worked at whatever Chew's equivalent of like a 7-Eleven is, wherever you can get a Slurpee. But I think that brain freeze and Hugh do not go well together.
No, that doesn't seem.
I think it is a thing that I find deeply uncomfortable. And so I probably worked there for an afternoon and then immediately quit. And went back to whoever was handling me at that time and said, no, I'm not doing that.
No. I wonder if it's like you were drinking this like Slurpee situation and it just was like oozing.
Or straws might also be hard. Like
yeah,
I could go into the straw as much as anything could come out of the straw.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like it's just an uncomfortable situation and I did not enjoy it. And so I quit. And so since then, I have just sort of like glared at those places whenever I walk by them.
Yeah. So let's see what it would be. Was it also a gas station or was it like?
No, I think just like a
convenience store.
Strictly a convenience store. Yeah. Like a little bodega, but a chain bodega. Something that tries really hard to be like a neighborhood bodega, but absolutely.
But it's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm in the background kind of looking too. I'm like, God, I should know that offhand.
We'll come up with a name for that. Something like well, if it's something that's trying really hard to be a neighborhood bodega, like maybe they just like named it that.
Neighborhood bodega.
Neighborhood bodega. You didn't work there for very long.
I did not.
Like 2-3 hours at most. And then you were like, that's it. I'm all done.
I was like, this is bad.
I don't know that you ever officially quit. You just walked out and didn't come back. So
correct. I just had the little thing, set it on the counter and said no. And then
no.
There's the ding as the doors open and then I'm gone.
Mm-hmm. Good.
As mysteriously as I arrived.
Sorry, I'm like it could be a Public Smart.
Public Smart.
Let's see what else there is. Yeah. Yeah, there was easy drugs, which is, but that's more pharmacy.
Yeah.
I like the bodega.
I also like the idea that they told you it was like a bodega, a corner store, and it was really a pharmacy, and you were trying to drink drugs. They were like, "Sir, you that's just penicillin. You can't. What are you doing?"
Could just be called slurps.
Yeah, that's
that.
great. Yeah. Sorry, I'm so bad because I know the humor. So I'm like, because everything kind of gets played into your pubescent, adolescent, like pubic smart, right? So
maybe
I'm sure Rob would draw the sign and it would say "slurp me" instead of Slurpee.
Yeah,
slurps with a Z.
Yeah, slurps.
Slurps. All right. Wonderful. So we have officially built our team.
It's gonna go great.
I don't know how qualified anybody is for anything, honestly. But feeling good. We're feeling good.
We nailed it on the head. It's more about the quirky characters than it is about the getting to the bottom of the investigation, even though every session is an investigation.
Thank goodness.
We're the people in charge of it.
So we are just going to I've told these folks that they have to come back for another episode. Ta-da!
Oh no!
Oh
Press
no!
The button. Press the button.
Press the gotta button. Press the gotta button. So I'm going to give them their case, but before they go out to do anything, we're going to sort of wrap it up for the day, and we're just going to chat about the game a little bit and how we're going to try to find questions that Pete has not been asked yet. I'm gonna figure it out. So you both receive summonses from higher up in the FDA, and she is pacing around the office, her office, which is so much bigger than your vat or your cubicle. And she's looking fairly irritated. And like, as you approach, like pretty angry, she's looking pretty angrily at a piece of cake that is sitting on her desk.
I like to think that however I enter, it would definitely be like I would walk in and look around like, am I supposed to be here? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be 100% honest. Maury, I don't know that you were summoned. I do think that about this time, you usually come in to check to see if I need another latte.
Nice. Yeah, I actually come in with the latte. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I take from you. And then before you can leave, I say, you sit. We have to sit, please. We have to figure this out.
Huge eyes, right? Like,
sit. Yes. Sit. We don't have a lot of time. Please sit down.
Like looking at like, this is what this feels like.
Don't blow this, Maury. Don't blow this.
I'm sitting in like 1 inch of the seat, like barely in it, barely touching it. Like
just right on the edge, hovering. What about Hugh?
I think Hugh probably comes in and has an uncanny valley situation where facial expressions don't necessarily match tone of voice. And so it probably comes in very stoic looking and is just like, "Hi boss, you called?" But it's
just completely Gentlemen, what do you see there on my desk?
Paper.
It's a cake, right?
It is
Pens.
a cake.
Your name tag, your little plaque. Your awards.
I try to say whatever this most specific answer is for the cake.
Yeah. Yes. Now, we've been getting some reports. I'm incredibly concerned. There's a new bakery in town, not too far from here. And I mean, to be frank, some weird shit is going down with it, and it's weird enough that it caught our attention. Do you want to try?
I've pulled the pencil from my pocket, and I've pulled the notepad out of my pocket, and I've been taking notes.
Just every word.
Also drawing the cake, trying to make it accurate.
Perfect.
Hugh just holds out his hands. I'll try it.
Now I'm not entirely sure. I don't know what this will do to your anatomy. What did we? What exactly are you made of again?
Is this Sarah asking or the boss asking?
The boss.
The boss. Mostly pressed meat.
Right. Well, and you like, oh, we could probably grow another one of you. Yeah, here, taste it. She breaks off a small piece and hands it to you.
I will sniff it first.
It smells like cake. It smells delicious.
I watch anxiously, knowing what we all talk about in the back. That's neat, but what if it's not fully cooked? It's like
all hand coated.
Yeah, wow. I think Hugh probably like consumes food because, like, you have to swallow it, so he puts it as far back in his mouth as possible all the time.
Oh God,
it's just well.
Just smushing it around in your mouth cavity.
Nobody said that you have organs. Like, you actually might not be able to taste it. You just stuck it in some chicken. You just stuck it in the packed meat.
Scoops it out of his mouth a little bit. And then I want to do my future sight.
Great.
I don't know how that works. It's one of my quirks for the cake. Future of the cake.
Future of this particular
cake.
Particular piece of cake.
Okay. So this is a great thing. How exactly does he need to roll for quirks?
No, he can just use it. But you're just going to give him glimpses. Like, so think of it like if you gave him like 3 still photos of some time in the future of that cake. Obviously, you could touch on the piece that was just mowed on. And then, of course, you could touch on, the actual cake it came from, if there's anything, that you want to share. Yeah.
So you see a rather unpleasant of how you get this out of your body later. That's the first one that you see. It's a very private thing for you. It's very noisy. And it is very startling for anybody who has come across it. In fact, like the place that you end up going back to your bats, like they have requested that you do it before you get back. It's very uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, I imagine like walking by the room, hearing the noise and being like, what?
It's awful.
Shake your head and walk away. Yes.
Nightmare noises. And then you also see like the interior of a very like rich house. And then you also catch glimpses of what looks like, and you're not like super skilled with interpreting what's normal for people, right? But it does look like someone melting.
Oh, all right. And then I'm going to scrape it back off my teeth. This is a cake.
Great. If you can get to the bottom of what's going on at the bakery, the 2 of you, I could have sworn that we were supposed to have one other person in, but if the 2 of you could do it, and just off you go, please fix it.
Yeah, I look over like in excitement towards Hugh and like, raise my hand up for a high five When you're like, oh, hi, Maury. Yeah, you just wave.
I was going to say, do you know what that is? That's
I've seen it happen, but
You've
also
seen...
see, the thing is if I high five anyone, I have to freeze frame.
Right.
Because that's how you end an episode.
That's what happens at the end of an episode. So she shoos you out of her office, and I'm going to let you guys have just a little brief interaction between the two of you. I think you have run across each other, but you are not I would not call you friends.
Can I take the cake? I'm going to take the cake.
Yeah, so you can take the cake with you.
So right. What actually is inside the cake? So I'm looking in the cake to see the layers of is it vanilla? Is it strawberry? Is there a lemon filling?
It's it looks like a very fancy cake. I
pull out my smartphone.
It's a lot of layers. It's probably 12 or 13 layers, really thin with layers of some sort of frosting in between.
I started using my phone to Google the place and show Hugh what it looks like on my phone.
I'll hold the cake a little closer to Maury. Would you like to try it? I can't taste really.
Well, right now it's evidence, but if it's deemed unimportant by the case and the work that we're about to do, of course.
So
and I don't know who made it and if they washed their hands first.
It's probably true. It has the box that it is in, this slice of cake. The box says enthralling cakes, and it has an address.
Alex, to you. I was gonna. This is so weird. I would normally get this from you. So should I just go back there and get more information, or should I try to give this to someone else to do? I don't know what to do in this situation.
You mean the case?
Yeah, this is information that someone gives to me, and then I go tell you the phone number and who works there and how the employees are there and what they use for cakes and what's their Yelp star rating. And
well, you could come with me.
Okay.
If you felt comfortable doing that.
I looked around. There's actually probably a lot of people looking at me like they have something that's a menial task to give me. I'm free.
There's a line outside your cubicle of people checking their watches and and they every so often somebody looks in and is oh no, he's still not. That's weird. He's always.
And maybe Hugh is not very tall, so Hugh can't see over the cubes to see mine from here, but I can.
Yeah.
We'll just go check it out.
And I can find out all the information I normally would on my cell phone. So I'll get right on it with you together.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that Maury's entry into his journal tonight is going to be really.
There's a picture
really
of a chicken nugget, yeah.
With a big smile on its face, even though he doesn't really.
Yeah. So and there's me, and we're high fiving. Yeah.
So you get yourself over to enthralling cakes, and it's there's a huge line outside. It's wrapped around the block. Mm-hmm. It looks very sort of, that vintagey, old-fashioned kind of bakery that really hits everybody's nostalgia buttons. I mean, maybe not yours, Hugh, so much, because I don't know that you have nostalgia buttons yet, or if you do, it's for
they're called
yesterday.
They call it reruns.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. But and there's a steady line of people going in, and as they are coming out, they just have the dreamiest expressions on their face, and they're holding these little pale pink boxes, and they're just dazzled and so happy as they're leaving.
The same sort of box that we have.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably still literally reading you all the factuals that I can find about, like, in all the sources. So like, if this has been like 6 to 15 minutes away, like I'm just constantly reading you stuff that I'm reading off of like Wikipedia reviews. Then I'm breaking down reviews of like, well, the aggregate of these 16. I mean, clearly these are upset customers, but these have to mean something. You see, and if you collect these with Yelp plus TripAdvisor, and then check the dates.
Well, and this place has only been open for like 7 days.
Okay. A lot less then.
No, actually, there's a ton of reviews on like people are talking about this. There's a lot of chatter.
So I'm literally reading you. It's like when somebody is reading you cool stuff that happened on Facebook. And you're like, I can go do that myself. I'm like reading you, and so said.
I think
cupcakes are just to die for.
Hugh's just going to walk past the line and go straight in the front door.
I stop for a minute, like knowing full well, but I'm usually not the person who I don't even know if I have a badge. I have an ID card. Like, you have a badge. Yeah. But like, that badge lets you in anywhere because you're like the FDA. Yeah, but I stop and watch you and then wait and go, hey, and I go, oh yeah. And I like,
you too. We work in the same place. I just hold it up and just walk in.
I got the retractable cord from my belt that has the ID card in it, just like
people are grumbling about it, but they see that badge and they do get out of your way. But they're not happy about it. Like, they're like, we've been waiting here for, like, you hear somebody basically say, like, we've been waiting here for hours. And as you come inside, man, it just like feels nice in here. Like, this is not a feeling that Hugh, especially, you have had very often. Like, this feels correct. This feels like homey and like you've been invited in and you'd like it here. Like, that's the feeling that you both get when you come in. You're like, this is just like, oh, I just want to be in here.
Is it very big inside or is it small inside?
It's not very big inside. This is not a sit down and eat kind of place. You come in and there's not like a display of cakes or anything. And there's no menu board. It just says behind in the like fancy script, pretty letters, neon, like, we'll give you what you need. And then people are walking up to them and having a brief conversation. And then somebody disappears into the back and they come back out with a pink box.
I look to you. I don't like how that's worded. They are a new business and, they haven't really had the experience to know if this is going to sink them or they're going to swim. But have what you need isn't very specific. And there's a lot of people. So
it's a little presumptuous.
Yeah. And instinctually, it seems like, what if this is a chicken speakeasy? Because it almost seems to fit the bill otherwise. Lines out the door, nondescript. I don't see any prices.
I think.
Can we call back up?
Hugh's going to just walk up to the counter. And
I'm like literally 1 foot in the door. Like 1 foot is in the door.
Should I call somebody to help? Oh, you're at the counter. Okay.
I just like kind of spot red flags, like.
And I'll say, 2 needs, please.
Oh, we can only give are you still at the door, Maury?
Yeah.
I can only give only one per customer.
Okay.
2 customers. He's with me.
I'm probably weirdly in the doorway, kind of keeping it open because there's the thick line, right? And I'm just like trying to stand not really inside, but just partially inside. So yeah, I'm probably sideways, holding the door open. People are complaining on both sides of me.
So the girl at the counter reaches her hand out. You have to let me hold on to your hand for a moment. And
hold my hand out.
She looks confused for a moment.
Show him the ID. the one that says human.
The other ID.
Person. This one says person on it. Yeah.
a tough one, but I think we have what you need. And she goes into the back. And she comes back.
Goes into the back.
Yeah.
I'm going to lick the counter and tell the future on it. How much do I need to consume a bit, or is licking enough? Licking's maybe not enough.
The more you would consume, the more you would get. If Sarah wanted to go completely by the comics.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in that case, we'll hold off on that.
You could also
I lick the counter, but for no reason.
I'll lick it for no reason at all. Yeah.
And there could be a dozen things you get, right? That are all just mixed up, random, because people's, fingerprints, crumbs.
There's a lot of gross stuff on there.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you would like me to go through all the things you get by licking the counter, I will.
No, we're good.
Okay. She comes back with a little pink box. It's a lot smaller than some of the other boxes that you've seen. Smaller than the one you already had. But it's, just a little pink box, and she hands it over. Still looks a little confused, but she says, I think that's correct.
I open it.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can't open it in here. It's gonna have to take it outside.
I try to take a picture of her with my phone, though I'm a little further away by the door, but
we just don't. There's not enough space. We need you to move along so that we can continue serving.
It's a very small box, though. It's a small lid. There's plenty of space for me to open it.
So we're gonna wrap up our episode with her just like arguing with you to like, hey, I need you, like, please. So the camera's just like pulling back, and everybody behind you is getting like more and more irritated, and you're like,
you can also you can finally like just take the box and then walk out, and we can freeze frame high five Maury on the way out the door. Got it.
The freeze frame high five, and then the camera will pan to all the people standing next to you being like,
who are not at all frozen.
What are they doing? What are you?
We need to take it to the lab.
Sir, are you okay?
Shh. This is credits.
We'll see what happens next time with that.
Let it simmer.
Let it simmer. Sometimes it's good to let things sit a little bit, as we discussed earlier in this stream. That sometimes cake is better the day after we eat it.
Get to know each other in the pot.
That's right. So, so normally I would do at end of our gameplay. No, we didn't do a ton of gameplay, but like we do, I have moments of gratitude. Is there something that happened today that came out either in that very brief gameplay or during character creation that you were like not expecting? Either of you? That was
mine is so low hanging fruit though, because like when you rolled the something else, heard all the things, and then you didn't pick one off the list. You were inspired by it and said, I would be a lab grown. I don't remember what you said, a lab grown food, maybe, or something. And then it came to chicken nugget.
Yeah, I was grown in a lab, I think is what you said.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I was grown in a lab.
Like, oh, yeah, that's chicken nuggets.
Yeah, so, I mean, clearly that reshaped everything we did after that moment. Yeah.
Absolutely. Here, the sentient chicken nugget. Definitely a real boy, for sure.
Absolutely. Didn't even need to make a wish. I just want to say, Pete, this is like I have read the comic.
Cool.
A big fan of that. This is so much fun. Like this was just such a wild thing to get to do, and it's very. I really love giving a lot of character agency to the players.
Yeah.
And so it just already through character creation, it really lets you shape what's going on. And I always really appreciate that about a game. So great job on that. That was great. So yeah.
Yeah. From the comics, right? So the most important thing was like, they're above the law. They have this incredible job. There's all kinds of weird, crazy stuff happening all over the place. But if they weren't, quirky weirdos like themselves, so more than anything, that had to be directly what you got to right away. And the character creation had to bring that out of everyone. And so you just totally opened that door for us that it was needed, right? Yeah. And everyone should have some weird troubles and unique qualities that are more than a quirk, right? The quirk was deep in character creation because from the get-go we thought, oh, that's the number one thing. And then as we played, we were like, yeah, but like, cool, you can cook memories into meals. How often do you use it? And gameplay, a lot of the powers were like weren't as powerful as flight or super strength. And then we're like, oh no, we need to let people just use them as much as they want so that it happens. Otherwise, they just sat on them all meetings. So but still, quirky characters are coming out, and that's beautiful. It's so Chew, right?
So,
everyone's weird.
What I gotta know, I'm sure you've been asked this a bunch, but like, what was it about Chew that made you want to turn it into an RPG?
So unfortunately, the conversation didn't really come to me from that way. Because it wasn't something that I went after like out of the blue. It was an opportunity that more came my way, and then I was like, that would be awesome. So I got to meet the creators and then pitch them, but it was after it was kind of put before me. So it was I would love to say, like, at the time, I actually knew Farmhand more, which was actually Rob Guillory's follow-up. Not Chew, but it's his own spinoff, what he did next after Chew. So as I read it, though, I loved it because I think my branding almost has become more, weird, quirky, dark humor sort of things. Mm-hmm. And I was really, I was going to say taken back, but I was really kind of captivated by when the deal came about, it was during COVID. So during COVID, this happens 2020, I believe. My dates could be wrong. So COVID's so real. And this is a game world where like the bird flu hypothetically kills over 100 million people in the world. And everyone's a little upset about it. And there's some government unrest. And I was like, this is either going to be way too real for people to really dig, or it's going to be so well timed in the way that it's going to come out and be relatable in a very weird way, and then be so funny and ridiculous that people don't think much of it, but they can kind of understand it. Like, oh yeah, well, everyone would have masks on. They'd be doing that. They could kind of like know what that was like because everyone in this game world had experienced that not too long ago. So yeah. For being something that was made like in 2009 or something, like it was almost like prophetic,
Right. Oh no, I hope it actually isn't prophetic because
meet people. Oh
no.
Yeah, and as a RPG person, like I could just see, look at all the characters you could be. Look at how ridiculous this world would be. Mm-hmm. So yeah, and then you think about it, like when it comes to stuff like people love true crime. Whether it's the shows, the podcasts. So doing something like that's got a base in that like sort of modern crime also, but flipped with being food related, being able to abuse power.
Letting it be kind of absurd and fully out there so that you don't feel as bad about. Yeah. So
it was pretty immediate that I was like, wow. And then Damon, as you know from reading the comics, I mean, they're incredible. So I was like, I knew some of it, but then as I explored it, I was like, wow, these are incredible because they're just one of the few comic or graphic novel series that really kind of has something for everybody in a time where everyone knows don't do that. But they pulled it off, right? And when you do, it's magic.
It unfolds really slowly. It's a while before you really are getting into the scope of everyone's potential powers, sure. Like for the longest time you're just with a couple of the main characters and they do their weird thing, but then you start like getting little inklings of just how bizarre the power combination is, because it seems like from just this character creation that it sort of boils down to like pick a food, pick a power, smash them together, and then that's how your stuff works. Which is just, it's that added element of needing it to be connected to food or eating or community or something like that, I think is great.
Yeah, really, it's a really lot fun. Of it's a no-brainer, right? Just like foodie crime drama, like that. Just and in like we were saying, like it's so amazing how quickly people know specifics about food in ways that they can't usually know about magic or something in other games, right? Like, so it's neat that we go there and there's things that are like, hey, let's grab a beer or go get food, go to a chicken speakeasy and have a bucket of chicken in the game, because you're thinking about food the whole time. It's not weird then that your characters then go, have food and drinks.
Go have food. Yeah.
Why are you walking around with a tub of mashed potatoes? Oh, because I have this mashed potato power. Well, that means I have to walk around with Hungry Man TV dinners or, buckets of mashed potatoes. Weird stuff that's fun too.
Yeah.
So you've done you obviously adapted stuff from the comic to become this game. Like, was there anything that just like really gave you trouble when you were trying to bring it into the world?
It's funny because, a lot of things give you trouble, but you just kind of expect it. So you're used to like running into walls and then just kind of like beating your head against them sometimes. And then being like, well, what about this? And what about that? What about this? So, we've had a couple, we're getting close to a couple of years of playtesting. And then when you add that it's on an already established system, like based off of Blades in the Dark, it's a Forge in the Dark system. So there was a framework. So it wasn't like we had to really test out certain mechanics of probability. In the core, you could see a lot of things that worked. But I told the creators from the get-go, they were the ones who mentioned to me, they're like, is there like another game system you could use or something then? I was like, honestly, as a game designer, I think it's more important that we make something that fits and really like punches the themes and like hits the notes of Chew. And I just really don't know if there's going to be something like that. So while it's possible, I don't think that'll happen. And then like 4 or 5 months later, I was like, I think Forge in the Dark might actually be able to pull this off, and it's relevant, kind of up and coming, or has a base right now. So it had other elements too that made sense.
Sure.
Partially, as Damon would know, like the main character has this sort of cybopath ability, which is they can see the past from what they eat. Mm-hmm. He's got the twin sisters ability of the cybovoyant, which is like incredibly rare, like the one person that can see some of the future. But so that was a really big thought in my head. It was like, how the hell are we going to do that? Because players are going to want, it's like Star Wars. You want to be the Jedi with the lightsabers. So people are going to want to be Tony Chu with I can consume people and learn from their memories and understand where they came from, and maybe even eventually like consume their powers or something. So flashbacks was a thing that already existed in Blades. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Resistance is another big one that really won me over early, because Forge in the Dark, for better or the worse, has these resistance roles to give players a lot of agency over things that happen to your character, the consequences. And in Chew, as Damon saw, like it's got the Robert Kirkman thing of occasionally someone out of the blue just gets ripped in half, or like, shot in the head or whatever. And you're like, I feel like we just read 5 issues where they were the focus, or,
and
whatever.
Just gone.
And then they're just gone after like we've really bought into them, like invested, didn't think it would happen. So resistance was a neat way of then instructing game masters to like, hey, don't worry about pulling your punches in the game. Shoot the character in the head, chop a hand off, because they can resist a couple, 3 times, but they'll know that every time they resist, you're never going to stop. Right. And that'll make them go take downtime activities to recover and heal by connecting with other. It'll make them do other stuff we can accentuate in the game. But as the player, the tension will still be there, because it's like it's having your cake and eating it too. We just talked about how we killed your character, but you were able to stop it. But that the next time you might not be able to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So now you got to play to that. Right. So
cool.
There was a couple of the big ones early on that really kind of was like, okay, well, if we can do that, then what else can we do with this?
Awesome. Do you have a favorite bit?
A favorite what?
Just like a favorite bit of the game, something that you just like really love.
You got it. There's a good one. Like, what is your favorite bit?
Found it.
Gosh, what is my favorite bit? I think the easy one for me now that I almost forget is approaches, because approaches were something that came out early on. We actually, the first time we made the game, we were thinking about, instead of attributes, that like, it'd be a system like Fate Accelerated, where like your approaches of how you did things got your die pool. Mm-hmm. And then we had this neat idea of like how you could have like a sheet where you could like cut them out and paste the different approaches onto your character sheet. And that was the point at which we were like, yeah, that's not feasible. Right. That's not commercially feasible. We can't actually have something that goes into distribution and goes out widespread where at each one shot, people cut out these pages and put them over here. And, and especially for like conventions and all these kinds of things. And we're like, okay, well, that's why we're not actually doing that. We wanted you, and the only way we want to do that is if there was like 50 approaches, right? Not like the 3.
Right.
So there was a lot of things from the get-go where approaches had more abilities, like when you would push rolls or resist or help other people, you always had to like use your approach to explain it. And then eventually it was like, wait a minute, like Forge in the Dark has position and effect, which if I'm talking over your head, I'm sorry. But so we can just make sure we put it front and center and say everything that you do, you consider these approaches when they go to do it. And that determines the judgment of the roll, right? So I was like, yeah, all that other stuff we did to really tie it into the game, it was already well established. So, awesome. And as you can see, putting is the first thing in character creation, it really inspired which playbook I took. It gave players from the get-go the very first thing. Oh, this is my personality. This is who I am to build off of and build with, right? So, yeah.
Awesome.
Not power gaming from the get-go, right? You're
when can people buy this? Where can they get it? What the hell, Pete? Where is it?
So basically late spring is the easy answer. PDFs are on the verge, the core book in particular. So everything will be out by summer, like when obviously it's got to go to backers first and such. And then, but it'll be in your local gaming store. You'll be able to order it wherever you want. I'm not sure about Target because I think the content's a little, but other people are like, dude, Target has a lot of stuff. And I'm like, there's a lot of F-bombs in this book. It talks about cannibalism and stuff. So I don't know.
They sell Cards Against Humanity at Target, though. So I feel like we can probably get you into Target.
Yeah. So by summer. Yeah,
call us Target. We'll give stores, you a shoe.
Amazon,
Awesome. Is there anything else that you want to mention about the game before
you got me thinking about it. One of the big things we're not doing today, because it's harder with stream, is that there is a dry erase cork board, which we call the conspiracy board. So like we made that faction and we made that like gossip about each other. Well, that would be like on a board where we would put sticky notes. And what I described about the pink gelatin inside Hugh would be right next to Hugh on the board. And every time anybody did anything or looked at the board, they would constantly see Hugh and the pink gelatin next to them. And they'd see the case over here and they'd see like the things that we have of the leads and the investigation. And what it does when players can use dry erase is they can make all kinds of connections. They can start building conspiracies. They can connect case notes. They can put factions. And when the Navy is brought in, because that's the faction I put on, now suddenly the U.S. Navy gets used a lot for all kinds of stuff because it's there. So I just mentioned that because there's a lot of cool interactivity. It just doesn't stream well.
Hard on stream. Yeah, it's hard when people are not in the same physical space. Even if we were sharing a digital screen, it's different to have everybody, you can't just scribble on a thing and do it. But
so it's just an incredible resource and look of the game, like a part of it that you'll see later. So I just want people to know about it.
Yeah, for sure.
And there's chicken bucket dice cups. So when you do see the character sheets, there's the up in the corners, they have like these little spots for dice that show your appetite and stuff. You'll literally put chicken dice on them or your own, but.
Well, hopefully chicken. I want chicken dice. I think, will you be at Gen Con this year, Pete?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, well, all three of us will be there. We can snag you and play in person.
Yeah, for sure. I'm always trying to not overschedule myself, but then we schedule a lot of events, and I usually end up picking up stuff that somebody falls through because they get sick or whatever. So
sure. Well, so that is I'm going to say that is the first half of Chew. That is the building section of Chew. And next week we will dive in and see what is going on with those cakes. And maybe our heroes, in quotes, will melt.
Persons.
We don't know. People. Definitely.
We will crack the case.
People. Yeah.
I don't know if we'll crack the cake first, but we'll crack the case.
So there will be cases and cakes and possibly cracking. We don't know.
And
yeah.
crack.
So let's don't you crack. Let's go around and remind everybody where we can be found on the internet. Pete, tell us where we can find you and this game and information about this game.
So you can find pretty all my social links at imagininggames.com. We have a shop there. You can find cool stuff about Chew, Rest in Pieces, Dream Chaser, other games, Infected. Yeah. And Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all the links are there.
Excellent. Damon, where can we find you?
I'm on the internet, mostly on Twitter at _Feral, which is formerlyferalgames.com, has all of our stuff there as well. And then we're on Instagram at The Crowned RPG. And, I guess I'm on Facebook. Sometimes.
Good job.
I'm great at the internet.
So good. I'm Sarah Moore. You can find me on Facebook at Actor Sarah Moore and everywhere else on the internet at Pixies and Pins. You can go to my website, pixiesandpins.com. You can find me here every Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific on Sarah's Table. Like I said, next week we're going to continue our Chew arc. And then I have a game that was given to me, and I definitely know how to say the words. It's in German, and so I don't know how to pronounce it. But you get to play the magical cat familiars of a coven of witches, and the things that you do in the game influence how well your witch is able to perform in certain rituals. And so that is coming up. And then if anybody else has any games that they have written out there in internet land, please get a hold of me. And we're also going to have another arc of Vanishing Lands coming up, because we're hoping to have it out in the next maybe 2 months to be able to have people play it. So those are all of my things.
This is so much fun.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate everybody being at my table today. Thank you at home for watching. Thank you, Gen Con, for giving me this platform so that I can spotlight games that don't have as many eyeballs or cash behind them. Thank you to my partner, Jeff, for turning all of the files that I hand to him into a coherent stream. Thank you to Marcus for always being on top of everything. He's our tech over at Gen Con TV. Thank you to Peter Eckison for literally just being like, whatever you want to do, Sarah, I trust you. I don't know how long that's going to last, but I'm going to keep riding it out.
For saving D&D,
Yeah. Also,
for doing the Gen Con thing,
Thank you for
Thanks,
that, Peter. So many things to thank you for. So I'm sure that there's more people that I could be thanking, and just I want you to just look inside your heart and just know that I thanked you. So there's that. So as always, I would like you to keep making art and keep being art. We will see you next time. Mwah. Pew, 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 pew.